Every video I record now has a dead influencer staring at me. I first saw his twisted body in the corner of a poolside vlog. The footage vanished, but his eyes stayed glued to the lens. What I didn't expect was that he would follow me everywhere. I'm Maya, 24, a fledgling lifestyle creator. I spend my days editing cutscenes, chasing trends, and trying to grow a subscriber count that still hovers in the low thousands. My best friend Kenzo handles the on-camera charisma, while I sit behind the camera, fixing lighting, fixing mistakes, and unfortunately fixing my own insecurities. We thought a viral stunt was the fast track to fame, so we chased a breaking news story. A fitness influencer who fell to his death after a scandalous balcony escape. We filmed the plunge, posted the clip, rode the wave of clicks, and thought the nightmare was over. None of that mattered after the night of June 18, 2026, when the dead man began to appear in every frame we captured. To set up, Kenzo and I rented a cheap Airbnb by the beach to film our hot sauce challenge. The salty air smelled of fried fish and sunscreen. The pool glistened under a cloudless sky, and the camera perched on a tripod, ready to record our exaggerated reactions. I adjusted the focus, checked the audio, and whispered, "Let's make this count." The scene felt ordinary, the kind of content that usually garners a few hundred likes. First contact, when we played back the raw footage, a dark silhouette lay at the far edge of the pool's concrete. It was the fitness influencer, frozen mid-fall, his limbs twisted like a broken doll. My heart slammed. Did we accidentally splice something? I asked, voice trembling. Kenzo laughed. Probably a glitch. Let's cut it out. He trimmed the corner, and the video uploaded without the body. The comments praised the sauce, not the glitch. But it gets worse. The next morning, I posted a selfie on Instagram from the same beach. In the background on the wet sand, the influencer's corpse was half buried, his skin mottled, his eyes void. I stared at the screen, feeling the skin crawl. I called Kenzo. "Did you add a filter?" He replied, "No, I swear. It's just the camera." I tried a different phone, a vintage Polaroid. Dead man was there, still rotting, still staring. Escalation. The first test, we set up a second shoot in a deserted parking garage, hoping a new location would break the curse. The concrete was cold. The fluorescent lights hummed. We filmed a simple Q&A. When we reviewed the footage, the influencer's body hovered near the camera. His face turned toward the lens, his mouth twisted in a silent scream. The background was empty. The figure was unmistakably superimposed. "What the hell?" I whispered. Kenzo suggested, "Maybe it's a meme we accidentally seeded. Let's delete it." We deleted the file, but the image lingered in our memory. And then the body moved. A follower compiled a time-lapse of our uploads. In the sequence, the corpse seemed to inch closer to the camera with each new video, its flesh darkening, its head tilting ever more directly at us. By the 10th clip, the dead influencer was practically touching the edge of the frame, his eyes locked onto the viewer. The reveal, a filter from beyond. We tried to replicate the phenomenon with different equipment. A DSLR, a GoPro, even a webcam. The dead influencer appeared each time, never once a glitch, never once a mistake. The only constant was the lens itself. It was as if the camera was a portal, and the influencer's broken body was trying to cross it. I remembered a comment on the original death video. "He's still watching." The comment seemed like a joke, but now it felt like a warning. We dug through the original footage, frame by frame, looking for any hidden code, any overlay. In the darkest second of the balcony fall, a faint watermark flickered an obscure logo of a defunct app called Spectre. The app, according to an old forum, claimed to capture spirits in digital form. The logo was barely visible, but it was there, embedded in the very pixels of his death. That night, I stayed up alone, scrolling through the forum. A user posted a warning. If you ever see a dead body in your footage, stop recording. The entity feeds on attention. My fingers trembled as I reread the post. The silence of my apartment felt heavy, as if something unseen hovered near the ceiling. Breath. Confrontation. The final shoot. We decided to face the entity head-on. We booked the condemned condo where the influencer had fallen, the one with cracked tiles and a balcony that stared out over the abyss. The sun was setting, casting long shadows. I set up the camera on a tripod, aimed directly at the balcony's empty ledge. Kenzo stood in front, trying to stay calm, his usual bravado cracked. I asked, "How are you feeling about today's confrontation?" He forced a laugh. "Can't see him, so I'm fine." I replied, "Remember, the camera sees what we can't." I pressed record. The room was still, the only sound the distant hum of traffic. Seconds later, the screen flickered. The dead influencer rose from the floor, his skin bubbling, his limbs moving in a grotesque, slow crawl toward the camera. He didn't walk toward Kenzo. He moved straight for the lens. I felt a cold breath on my neck, though no one was there. Kenzo's eyes widened, his mouth forming a silent scream that never left his throat. The camera captured his face as the dead body's hand reached out, fingers elongated, grasping the edge of the frame. Breath. The footage cut to black. I heard a thud, then silence. When I finally stopped filming, I was shaking. Kenzo was gone. His phone lay on the floor, screen shattered. A single message displayed: "I can see you now." The police arrived hours later, finding only me, a broken camera, and a lingering scent of rot. Resolution. I deleted every video, every photo, every memory of the influencer. I shut down our channel, erased the subscriber count, and tried to move on. But the dead man follows me still. He appears in strangers' Instagram stories, in the background of news broadcasts, even in the reflection of my bathroom mirror. He never moves closer yet. I can feel his cold hands reaching for the lens, for the world that watches. I live with the knowledge that every click I make could be the one that drags me into his endless fall. Breath. What do you think really happened? Leave your theory in the comments. If you crave more unsettling stories like this or prefer to listen in the dark, Audible offers a 30-day free trial that's perfect for horror audiobooks. Just follow the link in the description and start listening tonight. Breath. Subscribe if you want a new nightmare delivered every week, and keep the lights on. What would you do if a dead influencer appeared in your next selfie? Tag a friend who'd never sleep again. Save this so you don't forget it, and let us know in the comments.